What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan Sewell Sells at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, and we've got some exciting news today. We're talking about the future of Mazda. The future of Mazda is, well, actually, it's not that soon. But that's what we're talking about today, so let's jump in. Okay, so remember when we had this conversation a few months ago and it was reported that Mazda officially said there will be no new product launches in 2022, or excuse me, until 2022. No new product launches until 2022. And you and I were thinking, hey, we're in the 2020 model year and we've got the 2021 model year. And then in just a few months, calendar months from now, we're going to have the 2022 model year. So we're all sitting here thinking, hey, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, let's just say, well, what if spring, summer, even fall 2022 model year, we're going to be rocking and rolling with a new Mazda 6, potentially, which we'll follow up on this in a few minutes, potentially a new CX-5. Yes, CX-50. So remember when we had that conversation, we've talked about it a lot, Mazda 6 coming, CX-5 coming, 2022. Well, guess what? When Mazda said no new product launches until 2022, they meant 2022. So next year, remind me, because this is like the longest year of my life, 2020 it seems. Do you feel that way too? Next year is 2021. The following year is 2022. So that means that we are actually about 2 full calendar years away from a new product launch from Mazda. So what does that even mean, a new product launch? Well, if you've been ear to the ground in the news feeds in the last week, you've seen that there was some big news leaked from Mazda, and not really leaked, I would say, but in their third quarter financial presentation, I believe it's kind of all over the internet now, but I think it was maybe Motor One or Car Throttle. I don't know exactly who got it, but somebody screenshotted the presentation of this picture of their new line of engines. And guess what? Yes, inline 6, longitudinal array of that engine. Yes. Also, we saw Skyactiv X. Also, we saw some plug-in electronified and diesel. So what we know is that the future of Mazda is at hand. The future of Mazda is not now, but in 2 years. And it will include what we've heard so far, the inline 6, more Skyactiv X options, maybe in America. I don't know. But definitely more electronified powertrains and more diesel powertrains. How does this all come together? Well, we know, again, here's some pictures of the Mazda 6 concept, and these actually came from Motor One, I believe. And so take a look at these, beautiful vehicle. So this is supposedly the 2023, that's right, you heard it right, you heard me right, the 2023 Mazda 6, which will be as we've heard it, a rear-wheel drive platform that has the inline 6, which will be a 3-liter with 300 horsepower, and because of their spark-controlled combustion, will use less fuel. Not saying that that's going to be exactly a Skyactiv X, although we know that that's what that uses. But the thing is, in this presentation, they didn't mention rear-wheel drive. They did mention all-wheel drive. So we could expect a little of both, of course, but we assume the rear-wheel drive still happening. And on this Mazda 6, we're going to see many other options. Yes, if you look at the Mazda USA website, it still says that there's a Skyactiv D Mazda diesel coming. Don't know, that may be a 2022 now in America if they get the permissions from the EPA or the certifications from the EPA. and all those things that are required to sell in this country. But also we know that this inline 6 is going to be used. They're going to build a SkyActiv X inline 6. They're going to build a plug-in hybrid. They're going to build what they call quote-unquote multi-electric technology. All right, so there's actually 4 main components that Mazda says they're going to be working on over these next 2 years, right? 2020, 2022. That's a longitudinal architecture, which, again, will take this 4-cylinder that we're accustomed to, turn it, fit the inline 6, also be set up for a rear-wheel drive, much like we see that 4-cylinder fit longitudinally in the Miata. Number 2, a powertrain of inline 6, which is gasoline, diesel, X, and all-wheel drive is what they mentioned. They didn't mention rear-wheel drive, but they mentioned all-wheel drive. Electronification or electrification is, I guess, officially how you say it, which is a plug-in hybrid, as I said, a 48-volt mild hybrid system, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And number 4, multiple electrification technologies using rotary engine technology. Now, of course, we've already touched on this because the MX-30 is going to have a rotary engine used for the plug-in as a range extender. However, if you've been following along, I can't remember if I've talked about it or not, the MX-30 is now available as a mild hybrid, and it's expected next spring to go on sale. I believe the first one's in Japan with the plug-in with the rotary engine range extender. So we're already seeing some of these things, and this is within the next 2 years, and it's stuff that they've been working on for a while. Okay, we've already talked about the longitudinal architecture, and we know it's an inline 6 that they've been working on. 3-liter, great horsepower, great power, great fuel economy, apparently, and maybe some different things with diesel, SkyActiv X technology, different things like that. So SkyActiv G, SkyActiv D, SkyActiv X. But as far as electrification, Australia, yes, Australia, you guys, who's got one, right? Go ahead and comment below. There's already a SkyActiv X M hybrid. A SkyActiv X M hybrid, which I assume the M stands for mild. So you already have that available in the Mazda 3 and the CX-30. You can actually, as far as I could tell, you could already buy those now. Comment below if you've seen them on the road, or if you purchased them, or if you've seen them at the dealership, and if they're even available right now, or what the deal is. Because from what I saw, they're available. So we've already got some of that already out within this 2 years. I know what I want and what you want is a new Mazda 6, right? A new Mazda 6. And according to the leak of this presentation, that Mazda 6 is going to come in 2 years as a 2023 model. In my mind, it was 2022, next year or bust, baby. And then maybe CX-5s, 50, whatever we're going to call it, would be a 2023. And in 2022, we still could see the CX-9, CX-90. We haven't even heard anything about that, so I doubt that's coming. We're just going to have the same CX-9. Okay, let's just move on from there. But Mazda 6 is coming as a 2023 model by the end of 2022. So 2 years from now, that's a lot of videos of us talking about the same thing and making all these speculations. But by the end of 2022, we will have a Mazda 6. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'll say it right now. Hopefully, that's the case. Earlier, Mazda proved me wrong. Let's bring it on. Mazda 6, 2023 model year, end of 2022. I was wrong about that. However, I'm glad for this leak. I'm glad to see these different engines. I'm glad to see that we're going to have inline 6, different technologies, still the 4 cylinders, different technologies, maybe longitudinal 4-cylinder, hybrid, plug-in. So that's all good stuff. Should we call that a wrap? Is this too long of a video? I think not. Let's talk about CX-50. Okay, so here's some pictures that were released a couple months ago, something like that, in Japan at one of the shows. And so this is supposedly the new CX-5, CX-50, whatever we're going to call it again. This vehicle is just so beautiful, okay? And, it kind of knocks out the RX, in my opinion, okay? The RX Vision. So, and crossovers are big right now, so they're probably going to look better than sedans, maybe. So what we have is this beautiful specimen of a concept car that will not be exactly that way at production. We know how these things work, but it's supposed to have the inline six, supposed to have the rear wheel drive. According to information around this same presentation, we're going to see this CX-5, CX-50 in January of 2023. Okay? So we don't know officially if that'll be a 2022 model or a 2023 model, but I'm assuming that it'll be a 2023 model. So 2023 model, end of the year, Mazda 6, 2023 model CX-50 at the beginning of 2023. All right, that's it. That's all the information. That's a wrap. That's all that we have for this Mazda news update. Fortunately for you, though, we will have many more conversations about the 2023 Mazda 6 and 2023 CX-50. I assume that's what we're going to call it, right? And we'll have many more conversations about these new powertrains as they're coming. I have not given up hope on the Skyactiv D coming at some point to America, nor have I given up hope on the Skyactiv X. And we really don't know how all of this stuff's going to come together with the new plant in Alabama. Right, Mazda, Alabama. Actually, it's Mazda Toyota Manufacturing in Alabama, MTMA. But I just like to call it Mazda, Alabama. So we'll try to get more information on that and try to see what else we have coming out. It would be awesome to have an all-new product, all-new powertrain coming out of right here in Alabama. I know that there's a lot of stuff coming in shared with Toyota, a lot more electrification. They've already paired up a few years ago with Panasonic and done some great stuff for new lithium-ion batteries. So it's coming, right? That's it. That's a wrap. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. Give me a call at 334-718-0504. I'm Jonathan Sewell Sells at Mitchell Mazda. I can't take the suspense of this. I'm getting overly excited about not knowing how long 2 years is actually going to be. But I'll catch you on the next one.